Well, my mother and father gave me the name of James Brown. That was some 84 years ago. My mother's name was Rebecca. My father's name was William. He was one of the Rough Riders with Teddy Roosevelt, a little town they call Carolina, West Virginia. Well, we had a high school, a grade school, high school, but it was all black. One of our graduates was one of the first 5 pilots who graduated from Tuskegee. George Spanky Roberts, that was the name of the man you might say inspired me to becoming a pilot. And he came home in his uniform. And I admired his uniform. And I admired the things that he had talked about that was provided for him. He didn't have a hard time in the military. Being an officer and being able to fly. Well, that attracted me very much. I wanted that. I took the exam, passed it with flying colors, and I was accepted as a cadet and took off for Tuskegee. Boy, that was a miserable day of my life. It's hard to describe to people the prejudice, the biased attitude of people. But it wasn't good. But I knew I would have to put up with a lot of things because we live in a society that is very prejudiced. And I had to learn to swallow my own pride. I couldn't live as a man should. We had 2 Air Forces, a black Air Force and a white Air Force. I was in the black Air Force. All of my companions were all black. And everybody on the base was black. Those of us who were not married couldn't be married. That was the way they kept the Air Force with single men, because as a pilot, they wanted us to understand that in action or in the performance of my duties, I could lose my life very quickly. And of course, a lot of the instructors were all white. They didn't want to train us. We were talked about and discussed in a very negative manner. Those of us who could endure it, we endured it as long as I could get my training. I did that. The 3rd week of my ground school, I was flying a 2-wing T-13. I did it on a dare. So they told me I couldn't do it. I said, well, let me try it. I flew it. But I didn't have a fear of flying. The only fear I ever had was taking off and landing. It's hard to explain to people that don't understand that. Flying by the seat of your pants, you knew from the throb of the engine that you had enough power to get that plane off the ground. There was no instruments to tell you, but you could feel it. I never missed a takeoff, and I never missed a landing. But that was just a part of my feeling at that time. I could do that.